Good on Sandra Humphreys there, another Aussie chick, giving us some great music tonight with Heartaches, High Heels and a Halo. Now, I don't know about Heartaches and High Heels for this next guest, whether he's had a heartache or he's actually worn high heels, but I'm pretty sure he may have worn a halo sometime over his life. And because we're talking about James Stewart Keene. How you going, James?
I'm fantastic, Tracy. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. So I'm pretty sure that someone's thought you've actually had a halo sometime in your life. Am I correct?
What sort of halo?
Yep. Someone's probably thought you would. Absolutely. And you probably had your heart broken over your time already?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, you're not a songwriter unless you've had your heart broken.
Well, that's right. But what about high heels?
No, you're not a good songwriter unless you've had your heart broken.
What about the high heels?
Well, no comment.
Oh, there you go. So how have you been?
Fantastic. Absolutely busy. A bit distracted today. Unfortunately, I blame Kevin Rudd for that, but that's all right. I'll forgive him.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Yes, I think there's been a lot of talk about that one.
Yes, well, we don't talk politics here. We talk about great music, and we better find out a little bit about yourself. Now, from Wollongong, down south of Sydney in New South Wales.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, born and bred in Wollongong.
And what's
beautiful little place to live.
It's a lovely little place down on the water down there. I actually we nearly moved there.
We did.
We nearly moved there about 20 years ago for work. We're going to be working around the Kembla region, but decided against it in the last minute and stayed in sunny Queensland. What's the music industry like in the country music industry, specifically on the south coast of New South Wales?
Look, it's tough. It's tough. Look, they do have a country music association down here. Look, I've had some dealings with them from time to time in the past. In fact, I think they actually have a little they have a little festival down here around about March or April every year down at Dapto Leagues Club. So, look, there's a little scene, but I have to say I do believe that it's more the traditional country scene. I don't think it really caters that much to new country.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah, more traditional.
So more your traditional, what they call alt country these days.
Yeah, absolutely. So, more of the old school stuff, which is absolutely fine. Look, I guess I'm one of a few, I suppose, of the new breed of country rockers down here. And look, it's a tough scene in Wollongong, period, for all styles of music, I have to say. Look, a number of the venues, especially the contemporary venues, are closing down. A lot of controversy about noise complaints and all that sort of thing. So, look, it is a challenge to get places to play down here, definitely.
Well, I think we find that up here in Queensland too, we've had a couple that have been through and through just strictly country, and they've sort of closed their doors to that as well. But we do have we still have the 1, 2 or 3 up here that are really, really giving it a push. And we try and support live music, and we also say support the artists by buying their product, but also support these venues. Make sure you go along to the venues and support them as well, because it really is a hard slog out there, not only for the artists but for the venues to put them up as well. So
absolutely.
So how do you find, you're fairly new to our listeners up here in the Moreton Bay region, so if we were to say, okay, you're on your way up here, we're going to have James come up to Queensland, what sort of show, obviously it's not going to be traditional, but what sort of show and what sort of music do you bring to the James Stewart Keene show?
Well, I describe it as Americana country rock. Now, depending on what type of show I'm doing, look, if I come up there and I've played an acoustic set, I think you're going to get a lot of those country rock flavours coming out. You're going to hear some really catchy tunes, and you're going to get a real essence of what the songs are about. If I brought the band up, you're going to get a live, energetic sort of show that, again, something not too dissimilar to what, say, a Keith Urban show would be like. There's a little bit of flavours, a lot of US West Coast country rock music flavours coming out with the band, and that's the music that I really love to do. It's either way, you're going to get an energetic show. You're going to get lots of catchy tunes, and you're going to be tapping your foot whether I'm on the acoustic or whether the band's playing.
I look at the at some of the sounds of what you're talking about, that West Coast country. You must be a bit of a fan of the Zac Brown band, then, with your influences like the Eagles and John Fogerty.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, I won't have a chance to come and see him when he comes to Sydney. I think he's coming down real soon. But
yep.
Look, there's a whole lot of stuff coming out of Nashville, which is, like Zac Brown. Look, and believe it or not, I love Dwight Yoakam as well. He is just that West Coast, the Bakersfield sound. There's a lot of California in that sound. It's just amazing stuff. Really good, accessible music that anyone can get into. But it's just got that lovely. There's something about it that just has a relaxed feel about that music,
It's funny when you compare some of the sounds that you're talking about. There's plenty of people in Australia that wouldn't say that's country, but to me, it's the essence of what new country's about. It's that meeting of what used to be called middle of the road and country music, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And if you look at some of the influences that I've listed there. They are really acts that were playing country music, but they weren't really.
They weren't in Nashville, yeah.
And the thing is that some of these artists have just had absolutely groundbreaking country records, in my opinion. If you look at Neil Young, Harvest, outstanding country record, and then 1976 he does Comes a Time, which is just one of my all-time favourites. And the Eagles' debut record, self-titled record, was just outstanding West Coast country rock music. So, that stuff is just music that I love so much.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, tell us a little bit about the single we're going to play tonight, House of Love.
Well, House of Love, I wrote that especially. It was inspired by my lovely wife, Kim. We just actually moved in a week before we got married. We moved into we upgraded to a house from a unit, and so it was one of those things that the inspiration was there. You're in love, you're getting married, and I think that's what was the inspiration behind the song. A real celebration of us getting married and making this wonderful life together in a new house, and that's basically what the song is about.
Now, see, Darren, there's something for you. You sort of say, okay, this is the Big D I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about you, James. I'm talking about the Big D. He's, a good wife learns how to cook and she learns how to look after the husband and that. But she's the one behind these good songs. How good are we? There's
an old saying, that behind every man there's a good woman. That's why he never looks back.
Oh.
With that,
we should be playing another song, D-I-V-O-R-C-E.
With that, we're going to let you go, and we're going to go out now with James Stewart Keene, House of Love. If people like what they hear, what's the best way of getting a copy of it, James?
The best way they can do it is get onto iTunes, and they can find me right there on iTunes.
And have a look at that. How many songs on iTunes at the moment?
Well, we've got the single, and I've got a previous EP, a 4-track EP up there as well called Going Places, and I think that's quite an essential kind of recent back catalogue which people I think will enjoy as well.
Brilliant. James Stewart Keene and House of Love. Good to catch up with you, James. 101.5 FM. Don't forget, if you like his music, get on iTunes and support it.